Final Fantasy VII Remake. I beat it yesterday. If you didn't watch, I played it live on Twitch. If you're not already following the Twitch, which I know a lot of you aren't, go over there, follow the Twitch, do it now, and then come back and watch the rest of the video. Because the Twitch, I'm trying to build up the Twitch, trying to get, people over there, because I do all the gaming stuff over there. I know a lot of the people on this channel like the gaming stuff, so all the gaming stuff is going there, and I'll review games on here. I'll play the games on my Twitch, review the games on the YouTube channel. Got it? Okay. Right. So, this game's fucking phenomenal. Like, I love almost everything about the game. There is a very slow point, like, halfway through, but most games are slow in the middle. And I can't really knock it off for that, because it's only like an hour where I wasn't really enjoying it, and I felt like the pace was a bit off. And then the rest of the game was just full on high gear action. Like, after that point, you get the coolest moment in the game. So, like, I'm completely fine with having downtime leading into a really big high, and then the rest of it is just like that level of that's really cool, and then you get to the end and like that's really cool again. The end is a little Kingdom Heartsy. Well, I say the end of this chapter, because the game is being released in like 3 chunks. So this chunk is completely the Midgar section, the Midgar zone, and then we're going somewhere completely different in the next chunk, which is being released sometime, I don't know, but there's a lot of content here. There's like 20 hours of game, and then there's a load of like side stuff to do. I didn't get half of the stuff that is actually available, because there's arenas, there's like side missions, there's a load of stuff that I didn't do, because again, I was playing it on stream. I didn't want to be streaming the game for like a year, and then like, I wanted to get through the game, my first playthrough, so I could get the game done, finished, and go through and get all of the other stuff and finish the arenas and do all of the other stuff and go through a 100% playthrough, either when all of it's out, or I'll go back in like the next few months and go and get everything. But I didn't get everything in this playthrough. I just want to let you know. But even with that, you don't need to. Like, you'll be able to beat it with like just the weapons that you get through progressing the story, and just the armor that you get through progressing the story. What you get there is fine. Even the one summon that you get given at the start of the game, that you can still kind of wreck everything with that. Like, it's not difficult, that's what I'm trying to say. There are some bosses that are going to take you a while. The first boss took me half an hour to beat. I think that's the case with everyone, because it's got a lot of health and you're not doing a lot of damage at that point. And Barrett is going to be your best character, but he doesn't do any damage. Like, throughout the entire like game, his like basic attacks do like 1 to 2 damage per shot, maybe 3 to 4 when you get to the end game. Yes, he does like a lot of hits, like he's got a lot of DPS, but the actual numbers that he's popping up aren't big. Like, Aerith is on the other spectrum. She's very slow and very difficult to like play with, but she has a lot of punch behind her her basic attacks and even her like her like special attacks. The Ray of Judgment, that wrecks every boss that like you have Aerith with. Like you get to the second bar for Ray of Judgment, everything's going down. Like, and Tifa again gets a move like later on that just wrecks everything. So that's kind of a niggle I have. Like you get these moves that just trivialize everything in the end game because they do a shit ton of hits, they do a lot of damage, or they just attack everyone. And like that would be fine if this was turn-based, but it's not turn-based. The end of the game, the actual end fight, is the only fight where I felt like it was fair. It felt like a fair challenge. All the other fights I feel like flew by, apart from like the first few, before you get like those really damaging like moves. Maybe it was because I was playing on a lower difficulty. I don't know, but yeah, I just felt like a lot of the enemies and enemies in the start of the game will go down really slowly. Enemies in the later game just like I guess the basic ones they go down like in a few hits, which I guess you'd come to expect. And then some enemies take a lot of hits to kill, and like I don't have a problem with that. I think the combat system is great in this game. I just feel like some battles take way too long and some battles are just over really quickly. And most of the battles that are over really quickly are the ones that should be set pieces. Another thing that I didn't quite like is you spend a lot of the last chunk of the game on the motorbike, which I don't like because it kind of takes away from like everything really. Like you have like a decent half an hour on this motorbike when you should have like, it's because with what they do with the motorbike is you only use it twice, but both of those sections where you use it are really long, like really drawn out. And the thing is, it's not fun. It's not fun. It's basically just you drive, you accelerate, you whack a guy a couple times, and then done. You don't get any new moves to do on the motorbike. You don't do a lot of damage on the motorbike. So the boss that you have to fight, the two bosses that you have to fight on the motorbike, take ages. So yeah, it's just annoying. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of like having time where you can't do damage, and it's just annoying. But overall, the game, the combat system is great. The game looks visually stunning. Everything about the game looks great. There are some parts of the game where arguably you didn't need to make it look better, but there are some parts of the game where it like ramps up the textures a bit. It goes into like a kind of cleaner art style, which looks phenomenal. That in game it looks phenomenal, but in those specific cutscenes after a big set piece, the game just phenomenal. Like especially the end game. The end of the game is just epic, and I did say that it gets like really Kingdom Heartsy. I say that in a very good way. Because I, for one, enjoy Kingdom Hearts a lot. I know a lot of people might get a bit annoyed by it and might be a bit like, oh, I hope they don't do that in the next one. And there is a lot of like breathing and pauses between dialogue, which I don't like, because it feels very static. And when the rest of the world like looks so good, when the actual like dialogue feels very robotic, it takes away from the from everything that's going on. But that's a minor niggle. Overall, everything in this game. Overall, most of what this game does right is everything that it should. It gets the gameplay down, it gets the combat down, it gets the visuals down, and it gets the story down. But another kind of niggle that I have is that every time the game can think of, how can we extend this? How can we make this take an hour longer than it should do? It does it anyway, and so a lot of areas feel very drawn out, and a lot of areas you repeat several times. Like the sewer, you go there 3 times, and it's not a visually stimulating area, it's a sewer, and you fight the same boss twice. You fight this like Abzu, which is like a behemoth thing. You fight it twice, which I didn't like because it's the same fight. It's the same fight, just the second one has a few smaller ones just dotted around. It's stuff like that that kind of takes me out of it. But again, there's 20 hours, there's like 30 odd bosses in the game, like so far, and like that's not even counting what's coming next, and it's not even counting like optional bosses as well. Like I didn't run into a Tombury in my playthrough, thank God. But if I did, I'd probably not have finished the game, because like I don't know why they programmed an enemy into the game that can one-hit kill your entire party in like one fell with its basic attacks. Like I don't know why they thought that would be a good idea. I know it's a staple of the series, of the franchise, but just don't. No. But overall, mind-blowing. Final Fantasy VII Remake is so worth your time, and so like worth a playthrough, because it's honestly one of the best games I've played in a while. I wouldn't go as far to say it's the best game I've ever played, because God of War takes that bacon, and like Spider-Man edges out over it. But this is definitely the best Final Fantasy that I've played. And albeit I've only played 10 and 15, but 10 and 15 are also phenomenal games. 15 a lot of people don't like, but I still love that game. I stand by it till the day that I die. But Final Fantasy VII Remake is the best Final Fantasy we've had in a long time. And everything that I've kind of niggled about it are just nitpicks. The whole game is very, very good and very, very solid. So yeah, that's my opinion of Final Fantasy VII Remake. If you like this video, go hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Go on over to my Twitch, where I will be streaming every weekday from 9 p.m. British time. 9 p.m. British time. I'm not going to give you like what the other times are, because I don't know. Okay, don't have a go at me, but I don't know. Just follow me and you'll get the notification. Anyway, so, and I have a Discord. I'll be posting links up on my Discord. My Discord's quite small, so I'll be in it, you know, for the moment anyway. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, all that lovely stuff. Links are in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.